Good morning and welcome to After GMS, our Facebook show we do on the News 2 Facebook page every morning, weekdays at 7:45. I'm Megan Maleras here with Stacey Spivey, Duran Kirksey, and Ed Matthews.
Yeah, already getting some people here on our stream. And Jason said, got that 80s talk show music going, haha. Yeah, it kind of sounded like that just a little bit. We do want to start with a look at our forecast. I know many of you probably woke up this morning, went outside, realized it's not as warm today as it has been in the past couple of days, but it's still nice outside.
Yeah, not too bad out there at all. Had a cold front move through, so some cooler air moving in for now, but nothing too frigid. We're looking at temperatures out the door at the moment in the 30s. We'll see our highs eventually warm up into the upper 40s to low 50s. The cloud cover is going to stick around. I think we'll see a mix of sun and clouds all day long tomorrow. Area of low pressure will track to our south, and it's going to keep most of the rainfall with it well to our south across South Carolina and places like that. But around here, we'll be on the northern fringe of that, so we can't rule out a stray shower or two, especially south of I-40, but shouldn't be too big of a deal tomorrow. So tomorrow still looks mainly dry, with highs still in the low 50s. We warm up on Thursday, another cold front moves through. That doesn't appear to have any precipitation with it. We'll keep you updated. And then we'll see a slight cool down behind that system with high temperatures over the weekend back down into the low to mid 50s, but still looking mainly dry. So if we are lucky here, all that mud that's in your yard and all over the place might dry out a little bit over the next week or so.
Yeah, Jason just said at least it's not rainy today, and well, maybe tomorrow will be a little bit rainy, but that might be a good day to read. Or today might be a good day to read as well, because it is Read Across America Day, where avid readers celebrate their favorite pastime, reading.
Yeah, the National Association of Educators established this day back in 1998 to get students excited about reading. It falls on Dr. Seuss's birthday, a popular author many of you are familiar with, of course. So today we're asking you in our first conversation, what book are you reading right now? Or if you're not currently reading something, what's your favorite?
Yeah, we asked people on Facebook earlier today. One viewer says, just starting to read a new book I got Saturday by Nicholas Sparks. And it looks like we're not going to have those comments right now, but hey, we want you to go ahead and comment on the live stream as we talk about it. And I think it's coming soon. There it is. There it is. Okay, that first viewer saying that they got a book by Nicholas Sparks. Anika says she's reading Barefoot Bride. She said it'll make you cry, make you laugh, but it'll make you feel all good inside. That's my kind of book. Alan is reading Vanna Speaks. I looked this up. It's a book about Vanna White because I didn't know what that was. Another viewer says, I'm reading Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmer. Great book about the intersection of indigenous knowledge and science. The next person says they're reading Brave New World by Langman. And the next one says Just Mercy. I've heard that's really good. Now lastly, Mitch is reading Heart with Joy by local author Steve Cushman. Be cool to read a local author's book. I mentioned this earlier on the Good Morning Show, currently reading What to Expect the First Year. I read What to Expect When You're Expecting. You know, got to get ready for a baby girl when she gets here in June. But I do like to read for fun a lot as well. I'm an avid reader. And the last book that I read is called Finding Freedom. It's by an ABC journalist, and it's about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, kind of like a behind the scenes look at their life and the decision that they made to step back from their royal duties. It was very, very interesting to read, and I'm excited to see that CBS interview with Oprah with the couple this weekend right here on WFMY Sunday night to see if it kind of coincides with that book. It's going to be very interesting. Now it comes on at like 8 o'clock Sunday night, so Megan, me and you are probably going to be asleep.
Hey, so after What to Expect, when you're expecting What to Expect the First Year, you got to read What to Expect the Toddler Years. Although I'm quickly finding out that third version of this extended series is not by the book, because toddlers are not by the book. Let me just tell you so. I love to read. I'm an avid reader. I said this on the Good Morning Show. I'm a huge proponent of starting to read to children young. My son loves to read already at 14 months. Of course, it's him, you know, usually opening up the flaps of the book, but he reads the book so often that he started kind of memorizing and anticipating the pages that are coming next, so it's really cute to watch. As far as me, I love reading historical fiction. I just finished up a book from my favorite author, Kristen Hanna. It's called The Four Winds. If you've read The Nightingale, that was one of her bestsellers, on the charts for weeks on end, and then The Great Alone. But The Four Winds is about the Dust Bowl in Texas in the 1930s. I did not know much about that part of history. The book is obviously very depressing. It's set during the Great Depression, and the lengths to which the female main character goes, the heroine in this novel goes to protect her children and give them the best life. It's just absolutely so empowering, and I was just in awe reading it. Terrain Kirksey, what about you?
Several books come to mind, several things. I talked about one of them on the Good Morning Show. Another one that I really like, it has something to do with food. Franklin Barbecue, A Meat Smoking Manifesto. It's by Aaron Franklin. That's the name of it. I have to say it all dramatic, but that's the name of it. It's the guy that opened up this barbecue place in Austin, Texas. And, if you want to get barbecue before they run out, you have to line up at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. And apparently he makes some of the best brisket around. And he kind of goes through how he got into barbecuing and how it started, kind of just in his backyard cooking for people. How he messed up a bunch of brisket and it was terrible, but he eventually learned how to do it up to this point now. And then in the back it has recipes and things like that. And I'm usually the type of person where it's hard for me to read through a book fairly quickly. My brain is just real skittish like a squirrel, and so I get distracted. But I was able to read like all 200 pages of that in maybe like 2 or 3 days, and it was excellent. So that's one of the books that I have on my bookshelf.
Well, the key, and Terrain, you brought up a good point, the key to reading, and we tell this to the students whom we speak to at our Read to Succeed assemblies prior to COVID. Hopefully we'll resume those soon. But we tell them to find a book that you're interested in, because that's the key to reading for pleasure. It's to finding something that will hone your interest so that it doesn't feel like you're reading this dragged out book of many, many pages. It feels like you're fully immersed in the story and you kind of become one with the story using your imagination. Ed Matthews.
Yes, indeed. And our Read to Succeed program, I agree with you. I hope we start those back soon. Certainly miss going out and just feeling the energy from the kids and being excited about reading. I'm not reading anything current at the moment, but anything that has to do with science, especially the science of meteorology. Read to Succeed. I figured if I keep reading books on meteorology, I might figure out how to forecast this wacky weather that we have here in the Piedmont. But really quite often, meteorologists enjoy reading case studies about previous storms, whether it be severe weather, a winter storm, hurricanes, or something like that, because that really helps us to learn how to be better forecasters. Being a forecaster is like practicing medicine. You practice, and the more you practice, the more you learn, the more you read, the better you get at your craft.
So the Farmer's Almanac it is, Ed Matthews.
No.
No, that's what his mom likes to read, right?
Hey, today's forecast was brought to you by the Farmer's Almanac. Not.
I know. It's fun to look at and compare, though.
Oh yeah, I agree. Now it is fun to look at. It is some fun reading.
The Farmer's Almanac's right 50% of the time. Flip of the coin. So.
Yeah.
All right, this is a fun conversation. We'll continue it here on our feed, but let's get to our morning headlines and then tee up our next conversation. If you were with us on the Good Morning Show, we have a good update on the missing child reported out of Winston-Salem. We've learned 9-year-old Joris Harris has been found and he is safe. He disappeared early this morning in the Easton community. Police say they found him in good health and returned him home. Today, we could hear an update on vaccine distribution in our state as the COVID task force and Governor Roy Cooper set to give an update at 2 o'clock this afternoon. You can watch it streaming live on air and online at WFMYnews2.com. North Carolina Senate lawmakers hoping to overturn the governor's veto and reinstate a requirement for schools to have in-person learning did not succeed in doing so last night. The Senate needed 3/5 vote to override the veto. Last week, the governor vetoed the bill out of concern the social distancing would not be required. The vote last night was 29-20. Fears related to coronavirus are being felt all across the Triad. We don't have to tell you that. You know they are real. A local church plans to help ease those concerns about the vaccine and the virus. They're having a virtual town hall tonight. WFMY News 2's Denise McMiller has more on this event that's putting facts before fear about COVID-19 and vaccines.
Mount Zion is located in a majority-minority area here in Greensboro. They say they know firsthand what underserved communities' concerns are when it comes to coronavirus. So they're bringing together a group of professionals to ease the community's mind. Several panelists will be part of the virtual discussion, including Guilford County Public Health Director, Guilford County Public School Superintendent, and Guilford County Commissioner Chair. Now, Mount Zion has been a site for coronavirus testing and vaccinations. Their clinic works to vaccinate folks in underserved communities. Now they're offering a virtual platform for underserved folks to address their concerns.
A lot of people are saying to themselves, I need to see someone else get it before I get it. And that mentality is not singly located to the African American community, but it is within our community. There are difficulties when people are registering and how registration happens and who is seen, what time should I really get there.
The town hall will be held through Zoom starting at 6:30 tonight. A moderator will ask a list of questions, then the floor will open up to the public to address their concerns. There is another COVID-19 vaccine town hall planned for tonight, but this one is part of a speaker series at North Carolina A&T, and it will be led by a team that helped develop the Moderna vaccine. And of course, we'll have links to both of these forums in this story on our website at WFMYnews2.com.
All right, our next conversation is already generating some buzz because you can't mess with Cheerwine. Or maybe you can. Yeah. Think about this. There is a new Cheerwine version that is rolling out, right?
Yeah, and most recently, we talked about the Reese's debuting a vegan candy. Now this product hits a little closer to home. Cheerwine is introducing Cheerwine Zero. It's the same cherry flavor and Carolina nostalgia that you know and love, just without the calories and sugar. Cheerwine says this was Diet Cheerwine for 20 years, but they wanted to update the name to reflect the profile. And we want to know, do you have a favorite sugar-free food or not? Maybe a sugar-free treat that you don't love. So yay sugar, nay sugar, are you sugar, sugar-free, what do you like? If I'm going to go sugar, I'm going to go sugar all the way. That's how I feel about soda. If I'm going to drink a soda, I want a full-on soda, not the diet stuff, because it just doesn't taste as good. And if I'm going to drink one, I want to enjoy it. So I'm going to say yay for sugar.
Well, there have been those studies in the past, and I'm not sure how it relates to this latest Cheerwine because I've not read the ingredients, but there are researchers who suggest that it's actually better to drink the real version, the real sugar, as opposed to those sugar substitutes that are more chemical based. So again, need to look at the ingredients in this Cheerwine, but I'm not a huge soda drinker, but I would prefer to just drink the regular thing in moderation than switch to a no sugar or maybe calorie-free kind. It just doesn't seem like Cheerwine without the sugar. Taran Kirksey, I know how you feel about this before you say anything.
Hey, I'm here for a good time, not a long time, right? So I'm drinking all the sugary sodas as long as I can until I absolutely am told that I gotta crank it back. So again, I'm getting closer and closer there, I'm sure. But I try that. I have had some sugar-free or some diet drinks that do taste pretty close to the real thing, and depending on folks' individual taste or individual situations, you can go for it. Cheerwine is delicious, so I'm gonna assume that even this different type of Cheerwine is probably delicious as well, because when something is just so good that it's way up here, even if you take the sugar away from it, it still should be pretty good, I would assume.
Yeah, and Ed, I know that you do drink some diet drinks sometimes, right?
I give it my best shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go in the break room and it's like diet Pepsi or regular Pepsi. Which one do you think I choose?
The regular, of course.
About 50% of the time, but you guys were talking about going all in with sugar drinks as opposed to diet drinks. let me tell you, the taste of diet soda has improved immensely over the years. I remember back when, Tab, I think it was one of the first
Tab.
diet drinks that came out. Taran, was it in the 60s or 70s?
It was, I want to say 70s.
Yeah, it was, I think, early or mid 70s. It was way back there. I want to tell you, I don't know if you liked it, Taran. I wasn't really concerned about, my figure back then, and I'm not really concerned about it now, to be honest with you. But that Tab was some gross stuff. That stuff was horrible. It was horrible. So they have made vast improvements. Now, as far as Cheerwine, the sugar is better, but I tell you what, a Cheerwine is a Cheerwine. I have Cheerwine so many different ways. You talk about reading books, I could write a book on all the different ways you can use Cheerwine. I've had Cheerwine cake, I've had Cheerwine homemade ice cream, Cheerwine float, and then just regular Cheerwine. It's some good stuff.
Yeah, you can make Cheerwine barbecue sauce too.
Oh my goodness, really?
I don't know about that.
Oh, I bet it would be great.
Oh yeah.
Cheerwine barbecue? Y'all are funny.
So it's interesting, I had never had Cheerwine until I moved to North Carolina. Growing up in Missouri, it was not available. And my husband, of course, being from Asheboro, he's all about the Cheerwine. And I had a friend visit a few years ago from Missouri, and she was so obsessed with the Cheerwine that she had here that ever since her visit, she's been special ordering it and shipping it back to Kansas City. So there's something to this Cheerwine, but when you first hear about it, you think, oh wait, is this an alcoholic beverage? Why is it regularly available to even kids? And obviously not, but it's a staple here in North Carolina.
Yeah, a lot of people are talking about soda right now on our feed. Nadine, as always, cracking me up. She says Diet Dr. Pepper is actually better than regular Dr. Pepper. Okay. I know people do love Diet Dr. Pepper. My mom actually used to drink that. Let's see, Scott says he likes sugar-free Jell-O. Yeah, that tastes pretty much the same as regular Jell-O. Good point there. Let's see. Bobby says, sometimes I need sugar and caffeine to get me going in the mornings. Don't we all, Bobby? And Joanne says, sugar-free Sprite is my favorite, but prefer water. Jason said, ain't no pop good for you, so might as well go for the real drink instead of the diet or zero. I feel ya, yeah. And then Jay says, I think I'd go nuts without my Pepsi with all sugar and caffeine, LOL.
That is funny. Yeah, Joe's like me. She never had Cheerwine until she moved to North Carolina. And then it became a real treat.
Well, one time I visited, it was back when I was in college. I came out here for a minor league baseball game and had Cheerwine. And I didn't know what it was, and it was so good. And then when I moved back, I had it some more. I'm actually going to probably have some today. I've been limiting the caffeine during pregnancy, but now that we're talking about it so much, I might have to go see if there's some in the break room.
Yeah, you can have a little cup a day of a little caffeine, according to the doctors.
Yeah. Put a little pep in my step.
Yes. Hey, thanks so much. This was so much fun. Before we go, let's get a final check of our forecast. Looks decent for the rest of the week.
Yeah, it's really pretty nice. A little cool this morning, but we're on our way to the lower 50s, kind of a mix of sun and clouds, and that's what we're seeing now here in the garden. Kind of looking to the north, it's clearer, and then to the south, more clouds. But the balance of the day, sun and clouds and low 50s. And then tomorrow, a little system passes south of the area. The better chance of measurable rain comes our way for like South Carolina, Georgia, northern Florida, Alabama. That low pressure will track to our south. The northern edge will probably make it to pretty close to Charlotte, but we couldn't rule out maybe a few isolated showers even here in the Triad during the Good Morning Show tomorrow. And then as that system moves away, I think we'll see more sunshine in the afternoon. Looking at temperatures back into the lower 50s, near 60 coming up on Thursday. We'll cool it back into the low and mid 50s Friday and through the weekend. But, if everything pans out the way it looks right now with our computer models, we could have possibly five dry days in a row. Fingers crossed.
Well, I don't know if it's all the talk about the Cheerwine or the wonderful weather that we're going to experience, but baby girl just started moving like crazy just now, so she must be excited.
Give that baby a Cheerwine.
She clearly wants one, so maybe that's what we do.
All right, thanks so much for spending part of your morning here with us. We do After GMS every weekday at 7:45 on the News 2 Facebook page.
Have a great rest of your day.